Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's time. Everybody's been waiting for it. Time to do the review on the YT Izzo. I have ridden this bike in a lot of places. I've ridden it in Bentonville, South Mountain, in Phoenix, and now we're here in Sedona. So we're gonna do the final piece of this puzzle here in Sedona. We're gonna go get some rad shots. We're gonna get some drone shots, and then Rob and I are gonna sit down in the front yard right there, and we're gonna give our thoughts on this bike because Rob has one as well. And part of why we're able to do it here in beautiful sunny Sedona, of course, is Element. So I'm pumped that Element has become such a kick-ass partner. So the stuff's legit, keeps you hydrated. It's something I've talked about for quite a bit. So check it out. That's all I'm asking. If you click the link down below, you can get a sample pack for nothing but shipping. And I'm pretty fired up because a lot of people have sent messages and made comments to say they tried it and they actually dig it and they feel a little bit better. So give it a try. Let me know what you think. And again, supporting the people that support us in doing all this, I think is pretty important. So I appreciate what Element does, not only for us to help make these videos, but the product is pretty legit. So I'm feeling hydrated right now. I actually switched up to some citrus salt. So Rob and I are gonna hop on the Izzos and we're gonna go murder the real Slim Shady. Not actually the dude Slim Shady, but the trail here in Sedona. So yeah, it was a weak attempt at trying to be funny, and I don't know, I think it fell flat. Yeah. All right, either way, let's go. Are you ready? I am. Live uncaged.
Mule mode engaged.
Put in Slim Shady on the that was spectacular.
Here we go, another lucky surprise for us. We have test rider extraordinaire, former factory pivot rider, multi-time Big Mountain Enduro champion, Rob Drew. And today,
all the things.
we're gonna talk the YT Izzo. So you can see the Izzos behind us. I've had mine for about a month now. Got some good time in it. Bentonville, South Mountain in Phoenix, and now Sedona. Rob has had his for a little bit longer. He's got some good rides in it. Rob, what are your thoughts on the YT Izzo?
I'm impressed with the bike. You know, for a short travel trail bike. And actually what I read about it was that, and this could be wrong, but this is just what I read, that YT didn't intend for it to be an enduro light bike.
Yeah.
They made it, they intended it more to be, I think, a light trail bike, but it definitely punches above its weight when it comes to that.
Yeah, I think there's evidence with that in the grip shift or the lockout thing for that first gen bike, which it doesn't have it anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, well, they were
how
running
well
a rock shock grip shift lockout and a Fox shock, and the two pieces apparently didn't work together the way they envisioned, and so they eliminated it.
So let's get some particulars out of the way. I'm on a Core 4.
I believe it was a Core 4.
Core 4, so pretty high spec bike, current version, size large. I dig it. I think the large feels good. I'm 5'10". I'm running it stock, so it's got the Fox 34 in 130. It's running 130 in the rear. We'll talk about my setup in a minute, the particulars. You're on a medium.
I'm on a custom build, so a lot of the bikes that I've gotten this year, I've bought used because I'm just trying to get what I can get. So I had an opportunity to buy the Izzo in a medium from somebody smaller than me, and it is probably a little small. I'm pretty confident I'd feel better on the large, but with the longer, I'm running a 60 mil stem on it, and I'm running a 160 mil fork, and it seems to make the bike work well.
So I'm sure people are going, wait a minute.
Yeah, so I can't
stem,
speak to how it's configured
160
factory
fork.
because mine is not. Mine's a really weird build, but I built it with stuff I had, and it's working pretty well.
Now, even with that, I think you are able to give some insight on how the bike works. You know, we were riding, we were talking about some things.
Yeah.
Just kind of freestyle on it a little bit.
So what I like about this bike is that YT didn't go super slack on it. Some people may look at this bike and say that it's too steep and cross-country-ish, but to me, that's a good handling bike. And so even for me, putting the 160 fork on it didn't put it in a place where it just got weird. It still works really well.
So what have you ridden that you would directly compare this bike to?
I would say the stump jumper directly. But I think that this bike feels more capable, and it could just be that for me, I didn't love the flex stays. You know, I love the stump jumper Evo. I thought it was incredible. But the regular stump jumper, just I didn't really love. It's a great bike, but I didn't love the feel of the back. It felt a little squirrely for me, especially under heavy loads. Yeah. And this bike doesn't exhibit that behavior, so I dig it. I like it.
So you've ridden it on some chunky stuff?
Very chunky stuff in South Mountain, and it's been my commuter bike, so I ride it back and forth to work, but the commute that I take hits some pretty rugged terrain.
It's got some spice.
Yeah.
So punches a little above its weight class in regards to capability.
Absolutely.
Okay. Any downsides at all? Anything you've come across?
Well, I have a bigger shock I would have liked to fit in it, but the way the frame is configured where the big side of the shock would mount, there's just not room to put something with a canister on. So it turns out I do have a super deluxe, actually wait.
Not a super deluxe.
It's a deluxe ultimate, I think.
Yeah.
But it is an ultimate, so it has compression and rebound adjustment, and it is the inline without a canister. So I got it by accident, but chose to keep it because anything is hard to get right now.
Yeah.
And when I get home, I'll be able to put it on the bike and see how it works. Currently, it's running a DPS Fox shock. I'm going to put the rock shock on, see how that works, because I am running a Pike fork.
Okay. So all in all, pretty happy with it?
I'm happy with the bike. I think it's great.
So for me, Core 4 stock trim, I put XC Cush Core in it, which was a must. I couldn't ride it. What are those tires again? Forecasters?
I don't know. Maybe they are forecasters.
Yeah, so not a whole lot of tire. I kept it stock. I wanted to ride it stock for a while. I've maxed out the volume reducers in the fork. So there are 4 now in the fork, and the thing still bottoms harshly on me. It's much better. I have 4 spacers. I have 90 pounds, and I'm running all of the compression. So for me, I love it. It was rad in Bentonville. I went and rode things that I've ridden on the Spur, and this bike is a little bit more capable. So it pedals similarly, it's very efficient, but you feel that little bit more capability. I did a couple big 20+ mile rides in South Mountain, and capability wise it was good. The rear feels great. My biggest challenge right now is that fork, because
it seems to me like the SID, which if you put the SID on it, which is what the Spur had, you'd probably be happier with that fork, but you have that loose 36, so I say you throw that guy on.
So yeah, we're getting there. The place where the 34 and its inability to handle the thunder I'm bringing was the dog park trails right outside of YT's office. We went and visited YT. We rode from the mill in San Clemente, and it was high speed, quick hits, like double downs, and dude, that thing was just boom, boom, boom. Like, I'll throw some of the chest cam and you'll be able to hear it bottom violently.
Yeah.
But as Rob said, I have the 36 in 150 mils that came off the Delano that I'm gonna put on that bike after this, and I think that will be a total game changer for this bike.
Well, and I think for what YT intended this bike, that fork is probably fine. The problem is the bike's way more capable than that, and I would say it's way more capable than that fork.
Yeah, so I don't think it's a bad fork.
No,
I think it's a bad fork
for what it's made for and who it's made for. I think it's a great fork, but I think that the circumstances you're putting it in are not what it was designed for, and so you can't expect.
There you go.
You can't expect anything in that circumstance.
There you go. Super light bike, pedals very well. I've been very impressed with it. The large feels really good. Like, I think that sizing is spot on.
Yeah, and when you look at the price and the spec, as with most direct-to-consumer bike brands, you're getting a tremendous value even if you buy the top spec bike.
So for me, thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
For Rob, thumbs up. If you have any questions, drop them below. If they're for me, great, I'll answer them. If they're for Rob, I'll make sure he answers them. If you'd like to see us do this more together, drop a comment below. If you wouldn't like to see that, just keep it to yourself. You don't have to say anything.
Don't tell me.
Because we're still going to do it. From Sedona, man, it's beautiful. He's going to drink a Waterloo.
Red dirt.
I'm going to have some Element here. Orange salt, one of my faves. Check us out behind the scenes at the Rich Drew, at the Rob Drew. Come to a Ride Series clinic. We're building out the 22 schedule, and we're going to go, I think we're going to go coast to coast, in 22.
To coast.
So check it out at the Ride Series, mtb.com. Be positive out there. Smile when you're out on the trail, just actually whenever. And I don't have anything else.
Be better at life on a bike.
There you go. Peace out, dumpers.
Over and out.
And peace out.